Exactly 1 year ago, I sat down with a microphone, a whole lot of nerves, and I said to myself, let's just see what happens. So here we are, 1 year later, 50 episodes, more than 50 episodes, countless conversations, and proof that resilience is not just possible, it is radical. Today, we are celebrating the anniversary of this podcast. I'm going to reflect on some lessons that I have learned. And for the very first time ever, I am reading a larger excerpt from my new and upcoming book, Radical Resilience. Buckle up, sister. There's a lot of heart and just a little bit of sass in this one. Welcome to Mindset Medicine with Dr. Tanya Burfield, where science meets soul, burnout meets boundaries, and high achieving women finally stop performing and start healing. I am a resilience and transformation expert, nervous system strategist, and recovering overfunctioner just like you. This podcast is your sanctuary for breaking cycles, rewriting stories, and reclaiming your energy, your peace, and your power. Each week, we blend neuroscience, somatic practices, and spiritual truth to help you unlearn the noise and remember who you really are. You're not broken. You're breaking free. And this is your medicine. Hello, friend. Welcome back to Mindset Medicine with Dr. Tanya Burfield. September's theme is the radical reset, reclaiming peace, pleasure, and power. This month, in every episode, we are designed to help you stop performing, start healing, and find your way back to yourself. Today's a little extra special, though, because we are celebrating the 1 year anniversary of this podcast. We are officially launching pre-orders for my new book, Radical Resilience, which drops October 10th, and I'm sharing the bonuses and the giveaways for the book. So, what have I learned in 1 year of podcasting? First is just facing my own fear and my own inner critic, leaning in even when I'm scared. When I recorded the first few episodes, probably you heard my voice shaking. My critic was screaming, "Who are you even to think you are that you could start this podcast? Exactly who do you think you are?" But I did it anyway, and now I love it. Second, is probably just being okay with change. This show has evolved. I've changed names. I've shifted themes. I've refined my message in not just the podcast, but in my work itself. That is not failure. It is hard for me to do and to admit that I'm not perfect every time, all the time, but it's not failure. That's growth. That is me leaning into practicing what I preach. And then third, really finding who I am and what I do. This podcast gave me permission to show up as me, just me, all of me, the strategist, the healer, the science and the soul, the tough love, and most especially the hippie woo. And because I can't resist, here are the side effects that come with working with me. Crying happen. It happens. Sometimes we do it together in the best way possible. Uncontrollable laughter during breakthroughs. There is not much that I do without sarcasm and humor. Sudden intolerance for other people's bullshit, including your own. And then random and ridiculous bursts of energy, joy, and clarity. And probably most importantly, I've discovered that if you step into my energy field, transformation isn't optional. It's inevitable. If you're here, you've probably already felt some of the shifts just by listening. Imagine what could happen if we work together more closely. I have one private coaching spot open this month, and I do not do this very often. When I do, they fill up quickly. If you have been holding it all together for everyone else and wondering who's holding you, this is your moment. Coaching with me is where we stop the performance cycle, we reset your nervous system, and we map out the life that you have been craving. The link is in the show notes. Let's get you reset. Okay. Now, I want to give you a little bit of a taste of the book, Radical Resilience. So, first, let's take one nice deep breath together. Inhale, hold it, and exhale. Feels good. This is an introduction from the section, the introduction, and then a little bit from the first chapter, Anxious by Design. If you have ever sat in your car for an extra 10 minutes just to avoid walking into the house, cried in the bathroom when no one could see you, or felt like you are doing everything right and still feel like absolute crap, this book is for you. This isn't a self-help manual written from the mountaintop. This is a survival to sacred map, one that I created while crawling through burnout, depression, perfectionism, and performance mode with a smile on my face and a nervous system in full alert. I didn't write this because I figured it all out. I wrote this because I almost gave up. I've lived the life of the strong one, the capable one, the one that everyone else leans on, until the weight of all of that holding left me feeling completely hollow. I know what it's like to look fine on the outside while screaming on the inside for something more. I also know that deep magic happens when women stop performing, start feeling, and finally come home to themselves. This book is a blueprint for that return. Radical resilience isn't about fixing you. It's about freeing you from the roles you were taught to play and the conditioning that told you your worth lives in what you produce. This isn't surface work. It's soul work. But I promise it's worth it. And then chapter 1. The problem isn't that you are anxious, overwhelmed, or unsure of who you are. The problem is that no one ever taught you how to live from your truth instead of your trauma. You weren't born confused. You were trained to override your knowing. You weren't born anxious. You were programmed to survive emotional chaos. And you weren't broken. You were built around invisible blueprints that prioritized obedience over authenticity. From the moment you were old enough to perform, the world handed you scripts. Be good. Be helpful. Be quiet. Be pretty. Be productive. Be selfless. In other words, be everything except for yourself. And every time you obeyed the rules, you were rewarded with approval, attention, and even safety. Every time you stepped out of the line, you felt disapproval, disconnection, and the sting of rejection. This wasn't about your character. This was about your nervous system doing its job, adapting. Because approval felt like safety, and rejection felt like danger. Sister, you survived. Now you're here, exhausted by the mask, confused about who you really are, and craving something real. That is not weakness. That is a wake-up call. And that's the heartbeat of radical resilience. And honestly, when I wrote those words, I knew this wasn't just about writing a book. It felt like planting a flag, a declaration we don't have to live trapped in performance mode anymore. But here's the thing. Radical resilience isn't something we just read about. It's something we practice together. And that's why I built these pre-order bonuses, so you don't have to do this work alone. Here's the deal. When you pre-order Radical Resilience, you're not just getting a book, you are stepping into a movement. You will be invited to join me in the live Radical Reset Activation Call. You will be entered to win a one-on-one coaching session and signed books, and you'll walk away knowing you're not doing this work alone. This book is your permission slip to stop performing and start living. Pre-orders are open now. The link is waiting for you in the show notes, and you can find it on Amazon. And then you email me, info@drtanyab.com, and I will get your bonuses out to you. Okay, as I wrap this up, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for listening, for sharing these episodes, for letting me sit in your earbuds and on your heart for the past year. This show has grown because of you and because we're building this radical resilience movement together. I have so much gratitude for you. Next week, we'll keep the anniversary celebration going with more behind the scenes stories and lessons. And until then, please remember, you are not broken. You are breaking free. I love you.